Piper is probably the single best A rank in the game. Well, at least if we exclude Nicole, that is. If you haven't built her yet and you do not have Jane or Alice, I would highly recommend doing so, as she has gotten a lot stronger since her release, and she can very easily get surprisingly high scores in Deadly Assault. And to make sure you do too, let's talk about her kit and how she plays, her best weapons, disk drives and disk drive sets, her combos, her main and substats, her teams and Mindscapes, and lastly, let's also talk about her pros and cons. Welcome! I'm Rivenous and this is your complete, updated, in-depth guide to Piper Wheel. Piper is a physical anomaly agent who specializes in Garen impressions just to dunk on the enemies right after, and despite being in A rank, she holds herself a very close spot in performance, similar to Jane and just slightly below Alice. And even though her kit has room for damage optimization, she is also rather easy to play at a baseline, so let's cover her kit. But before that, Alan got a message for you. Today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN, is an app and browser extension that allows you to access your favorite shows and websites no matter where you are. Surfshark keeps you safe and protects your privacy online by encrypting your traffic between your device and the internet. Even when on public Wi-Fi, your data is encrypted and hackers stand no chance. But that is not all. You can also freely change your location with just one click and safely access websites that may be blocked in your country. Like me, what if I wanna watch a show only available in the US? But I'm in Germany. Well, it is easy. I changed my location to the US using Surfshark VPN's browser extension, and within just a few seconds, I can now watch all of the shows only available in the US. It works like a charm. With over 3,000 servers in over 100 countries and a 24/7 available customer support, Surfshark VPN keeps your device and privacy safe, as it also comes with their own lightweight antivirus, a private ad-free internet search, and Surfshark Alert, which lets you know if your data has been compromised. Use my code iamrivenous today or click the link in the description and get 4 extra months for an unlimited amount of devices and of course a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to surfshark.com/iamrivenous or use code iamrivenous at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Thank you Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video, and with that, insert transition from Surfshark to Piper video here. Piper features a 4-part basic attack string with surprisingly high multipliers and a good anomaly application on her 3rd and 4th hit. Her dodge, dodge counter, dash attack, quick assist and assist follow-up all do what we expect them to do, so we will skip them. However, we will talk about them later during the combo section again. As for her ultimate, it does nothing too special either, but it does apply a lot of anomaly, so it will be integral to her stun rotations. More on that later during the combo section as well. Let's instead talk about her core and the heart of her kit, her special and EX special. Holding her special will have Piper start spinning around, dealing damage to all nearby enemies at the cost of reduced movement speed, and increase her charge level each second for up to 3 seconds, or in total a maximum of 3 charge levels. When releasing her special during the spin, she will then do a smashdown attack at the end with its power depending on the final charge level Piper had when let go. However, if we continue to hold down the special button if you have sufficient energy, she will then enter her EX special, which essentially is the same as her special, but with highly increased multipliers and anomaly application. Every second spent within her EX special will also consume 20 energy, and yet again when let go, if you're out of energy or after 3 seconds, she will end the cast with an almighty dunk. Her EX special is something special. Ha. Anyway, in fact there's a lot to say about it, but we will do so in a separate chapter right after her kit overview. Instead, let's first cover the most important part of her kit, which I have blatantly and for a reason skipped over up until now. It is this part. Because when using her special right after her basic attack 3, you will already start at charge level 3, and that essentially allows you to immediately enter her EX special and skip the entire part of her special. This is absolutely integral to how she should be played and by far the most important part of her kit. As for her core skill, it grants her 1 stack of power whenever her ultimate and EX special Engine Spin deal damage. Note the wording, only the spin to win part of her EX special will build these stacks, the slam down at the end does not. Each stack of power grants her 4% physical anomaly build up, and as it is capped at 20 stacks, this results in a total of 80%. As a small note, her M1 increases this limit to 30 stacks and hence also 120% physical anomaly build up. This is important because she already is incredibly saturated in build-up due to this passive, and that is a large reason why Alice's signature weapon is such a massive win for her. Spoiler, I guess. Lastly, for her additional ability, we require another physical agent or member of the Sons of Caledon, and with Caesar, Yuzua, Lucy, and to a certain extent Lighter and Pulchra, all being able to fulfill this is rather easy to achieve, and if she has 20 or more stacks of power, she will then grant 18% damage bonus to the team. And that already covers her kit. It is really simple, so let's quickly summarize how she plays. Optimally, we use her quick assists or assist follow-up to get her on field, then follow up with her basic 3 and optionally basic 4. After using her basic attack 3, we hold her EX special pressed and spin around for a little while. Maybe she isn't tired, but dizzy all the time. Anyway, lastly, we use her ultimate when available, optimally during the stun window, but that, well, fairly doesn't always work out, or generally to simply play around anomaly ICDs. As for her skill priority, because she is an anomaly agent and anomaly build-up does not scale with skill levels, it does not matter too much. But if you are looking to optimize her, focus on her core skill first and foremost, then her EX special and chain, into basics, and lastly assist and dodge. Let's talk a bit more about her EX special. Because Piper's EX special consists of 2 casts, one time the initial activation and one time the slam down at the end, she can also rather quickly proc Vivian's Ablooms twice. Her EX special, that is. And because her EX requires only 20 energy at a minimum, this essentially means when playing with Vivian, we rarely, if ever, want to actually fully channel it. Instead, we want to focus on maintaining Vivian's guard feather stacks because a properly played Piper will eat them faster than Sukaku eats her food. If her EX special triggers an assault, we are looking at 3 Ablooms nearly simultaneously, but because we also want to inflict anomaly as well as maintaining her power stacks, and with a large part of her build-up being allocated into her EX special, this is not necessarily an easy task, especially if your Vivian is not Mindscape 2. Because of this, when playing with Yuzua, I found it better to have Yuzua quick assist into Vivian instead of Piper. Secondly, not only is the slam down at the end of her EX very strong, it also has a very long animation and recovery time. Because of that, we are better off swap cancelling it whenever possible. Yes, the slam down also grants a good amount of iframes, but the time lost will add up. Because we aim for 20 or more slams per fight, and with each slam taking about 1.2 seconds, we are looking at a time loss of over 20 seconds in total, essentially doing nothing. So we want to swap cancel it. As for the third point, only the slam at the end of her EX special counts as a heavy hit, and that means her spin to win will not actually trigger a stun window or initiate Pulchra's aftershocks. Lastly, due to the many individual hits her EX special does when playing with Lucy, this is a great way to change the weather forecast to boars and build up additional fire anomaly from this. And with that out of the way, let's talk about her combos. A massive thanks to OKMuzzy for lending me his account to showcase some of the combos, as my Vivian and Yuzua are Mindscape 2 and hence, well, it messes with stuff, especially when we talk about quick assists. Anyway, go check him out, he does cool TC stuff for ZZZ over on his channel as well, a link is in the description. As already mentioned earlier, both her quick assist and assist follow-up directly link into her basic 3, and because of that, we can go for a simple combo of quick assist or assist follow-up into basic 3 into EX special. Make sure to either swap cancel her slam down at the end, or at least use the iframes to dodge attacks. Both her dodge counter and dash attack can be followed up with her basic 3 as well, which essentially results in the same combo, but it is more reliable as we do now not rely on parries or quick assists. The dash attack into basic 3 is technically a damage loss, but might become relevant during the stun combo in a bit if you are playing with Jane's weapon. And lastly, both her chain attack and ultimate can be followed up with her basic 3 as well, which means her entire kit can, so that will become relevant in just a little bit during the stun combo as well. When playing with Vivian, we want to make sure to cast her EX special as quick in succession as possible, and with a combo of dodge counter or quick assist into basic 3, into a short EX special, into swap cancel to Yuzua EX, into quick assist to Vivian, into Piper ultimate, into basic 3, into EX, we will burn through 5 to 6 blooms within a very short time. As per usual, set and forget stun combos for anomaly agents are usually not a thing, as the teams have to play very fluidly and adapt depending on the anomaly gauge. But let's try it anyway. We begin the stun window with Piper's EX special and switch out the moment when Assault procs. Trigger the stun with Yuzua's EX into Piper chain, cancel Piper chain into basic 3, then swap cancel her basic 4 and re-trigger the stun with any other character. Select Piper yet again into Piper chain, into basic 3 into EX special. This combo can trigger more blooms than Vivian can hold guard feathers, so if your Vivian is not Mindscape 2, you can optimize this by triggering the second chain with Vivian's EX. Again, in practice, you will need to adapt your stun combo to the anomaly gauge. That also means you will rarely be able to just do what I showed here, and in fact, you probably shouldn't always just do this. However, the core idea and takeaway of how this plays out should be the same. Make sure to use her basic 3 after most of her actions and follow that one up with her EX special. Optionally, you can also swap cancel her basic 4 instead. And with that, it's time for the weapons. As already spoiled earlier, Alice's signature is not only Alice's best in slot weapon, but also Piper's and potentially even Jane's for that matter as well. In fact, it is a lovely 6% increase in team damage over her own signature, and also much easier to keep a full uptime with compared to, for example, Sharpened Stinger. And a 6% team damage here means a good 12% for her personal damage. If you have Jane's signature and can maintain its stacks, it is a good option for her as well, and so are most weapons here in this list. Choose the best of whatever you have, and as a small note on Fusion Compiler, going from her basic 3 into her special and EX special will instantly give you 2 stacks, and the slam down is the 3rd stack, which means if you know what you're doing, you can maintain 3 stacks on it, and hence the weapon can be better than shown here in my calculations. However, for most people I found 2 stacks to be more reliable, but it can be better. Onto her disk drives. Fanged Metal is the best 4-piece choice she has, and either 2-piece Phaethons, Freedom Blues, Puffer Electro or Astral Voice will do their job. While Freedom Blues is the best general choice with Alice's weapon, especially when in a team with Yuzua, Phaethon's Melody can be just slightly better due to additional disorder procs, and the same can be said when looking at Piper in a vacuum. Lastly, while I wouldn't necessarily recommend a 4-piece Hormone Punk, it is an option, and so is a 4-piece Freedom Blues. As for her main stats, Anomaly Proficiency in slot 4, Physical Damage, Pen Ratio or even Attack Percent in slot 5, in that order, and Anomaly Mastery in slot 6 are her best choices when running Roaring Ride, with Pen Ratio being just slightly ahead when playing with Alice's signature. As per usual, the differences between some of them are pretty small, so whether you are running Pen Ratio or Physical Damage in slot 5 doesn't really matter too much. Choose whatever has better substats. Speaking of which, focus first and foremost on Anomaly Proficiency, then Attack Percent, and lastly Flat Attack and Flat Pen. Lastly, AP becomes much more important than Attack Percent if you are running Alice's signature. Piper's Mindscape 1 is by far her best and, in my opinion, most important one. Not only does it provide a fair damage increase due to the additional 40% physical anomaly buildup, it also helps her stack her power stacks much faster. Her M2, 3, 4 and 5 all exist, and although her M2 is a great quality of life due to the increased movement speed, it doesn't really do too much for her damage. Her M4 essentially gives her 20 energy every 30 seconds, which translates into 120 more energy per fight, and while this energy is crucial for additional EX specials, it does not provide a raw damage increase on paper, as it does depend on how you play. Her M4 is good, however, just not on a static spreadsheet. Lastly, her M6 increases the duration she can spin for as well as the duration of power, but since she will mainly be played with Vivian and Vivian much prefers a quick EX spam over a prolonged EX, the longer spin duration will not change too much. The prolonged power duration can be very helpful, however. Vivian is Piper's best partner, and that is not only due to the insane amount of blooms this team can burn through, but also the shared physical ether weakness of the new deadly assault boss. Any support will do their job, but Yuzua is undoubtedly the best choice you can make. Remember when I said we require another physical agent or member of the Sons of Caledon, and with Caesar, Yuzua, Lucy, and to a certain extent Lighter and Pulchra all being able to… Well, Lighter is not a good supportive stunner for Piper, but he does at least work for Bernice, and given that Pompey is one of the better matchups for Piper Bernice, he can do pretty well here specifically for that reason. However, if you have the choice, again, take Yuzua. Regardless whether you are playing Bernice or Vivian, I found it better to tune Yuzua for either ether or fire rather than physical, as Piper already has a lot of anomaly application and you will run into anomaly ICDs rather quickly, especially with Alice's signature. Piper, Grace and Rena work as well, although Piper will be missing her additional ability in this team. Not the worst ability to miss out on, but it's not fantastic either. I mean, who doesn't like free damage? Lastly, Yanagi and the classic wheelchair comp with Astra Nicole or even Astra Yuzua nowadays work as well. Choose whatever you're comfortable playing with. As an A rank, Piper is highly accessible and can even be bought monthly in the shop. Her investment is relatively cheap due to being an anomaly unit and her skill floor is rather low. But she does have at least a few tricks up her sleeve, and depending on your team, especially with Vivian, her skill ceiling is somewhere in the middle. For an A rank, her damage output is honestly very impressive even with her own signature, and she can even somewhat compete with top S rank options such as Jane and partially Alice. Piper, Alice and Jane also share all of the same disk drive sets, which means if you already have one of those two built up, she is basically ready and set to go. I really wish I would have more negatives to say. If at all, I would probably say she is a little bit too reliant on Vivian, but I mean, that's like the only thing. I don't know, maybe it's just a pro section at this point. Anyway, with that, we are at the end of the video. Before I leave you with the showcase, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment on whether or not you are pulling for Alice and her weapon, and join the Discord. Special thanks to my Patreon members who make this content possible. I appreciate all of you and wish you a great day. Peace!
ドレスが汚れると言ってるのです。